So, white feminism is when females are not fighting for the same equality rights that we are, and they're not like exposing the deeper issues. Like they're like, for example, white feminism would be just like fighting to free the nipple and like not thinking of like the people in Middle Eastern like countries, how they're like being so like they're just child wives and all that, and like the acid being poured on girls that lose their virginity.
It's like feminism that isn't intersectional. So like it doesn't include like women of color and like people that are trans, or like women that are transgender women. I don't know why I said that. And like queer women and such and stuff like that.
I always thought of it as like something like people who are privileged enough to like only know. It's like first world problems.
Well, it's like
for.
Well, that's where it
feminists.
comes from, because they're like ignorant to other people's issues, so they just think that everyone has like the same problems. Like a big white feminism thing is the free bleeding movement, where like people feel like women feel like they shouldn't have to hide the blood from their menstrual cycle, because something about how it shouldn't be gross because it's like a bodily function, like just like bleeding, I guess. But
but like. I feel like that's the reason why I wanted to do this video, because I wanted to explain like how white feminism could be a double-edged sword, since these are problems that women face. Like we are subject to like not the same amount of freedom as men are, since there is like a lot of standards put on us. Like these are still valid problems, but there are deeper issues that need to be explained, but there's still problems. That's what.
Yeah, I mean the problem with white feminism isn't that like the issues that they bring up. It's not like it's like trivial, but it's just that they make it seem like that's the only thing that women are fighting for. Like I have a friend, Kieran, who's like super like against feminism or whatever, and then whenever we have like conversations about this, he just brings up the women that like are about free the nipple and free bleeding and like the pussy hats, like the vagina hats for the marches and stuff. And he's like you radical feminists, blah, 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 or whatever. But like that's not the image. But like because they've like taken a hold of mainstream media, it seems like those are the only issues that we're fighting for. And it doesn't. I feel like it's not a double-edged sword. I feel like it's just a sword. Like it's just one-sided, and it just hurts us because it gives us this really bad image like of. Like, feminism is just, like, people that don't believe in, like, things that matter. Like, it just seems like they're only trivial issues because it's taken over mainstream media and, like, no one sees it. But then also, like, that's why, like, women like Shailene Woodley, that girl that played that one character in Divergent, the really important one.
Yeah.
The girl from The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah.
She was, like, she doesn't want to be labeled as a feminist. And it's, like, she's a woman of, like, really high standing in media, and for her to say something like that without really knowing the implications of what she's saying, like that's the problem. Because for her specifically, I think that she saw what like feminists were, quote unquote. This is a podcast, you can't even see me quoting it.
Yeah.
But she was like, she was basically like it's just like this idea of feminism that comes from the mainstream media of like us being crazy and like us only believing in like freeing the nipple. Like that's our only issue in life.
So you're saying that white feminism makes us look bad, right?
Yeah.
But it's still like bringing it to a topic of conversation. Like it's still being brought up as a conversation. And Shailene Woodley is not like she's just ignorant to say that she's not a feminist, but she's like not a spokesperson for feminists. Like she's not obligated to be that spokesperson. Like Emma Watson was not obligated to be that spokesperson for feminism, but she wanted to address the issue and she wanted to bring it into a topic of conversation, and she wanted to like make people aware of it. Like she didn't have to, but she still did.
Well, then I guess, but I think the thing is, white feminism comes from a place of ignorance. So like to say that it helps is wrong. Like, yes, it starts conversations, but the conversations aren't productive conversations. Or at least I don't think they're productive conversations. Like, when people start conversations about white feminism, it just goes into, like, it's just, like, people saying that it's, like, not a value, like, feminism as itself. Because people don't say white feminism is, like, not good. They say as a whole feminism is not good because of these, like, things, like, these campaigns that they see that come from white feminists.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
I feel like it's just, if you were to argue with a white feminist, and were to argue with a white feminist, and you yourself are a feminist, it's just a feminist versus a feminist. So I feel like labeling such as that is just going to pin our fellow feminists against each other. And it's just creating a different kind of argument when we all are working towards the same goal, where we all are, like, trying to have equality for women, you know?
I don't think the label for white feminism, like, pins anyone against each other. It's just a way of, like, categorizing, like a stage of thinking. Like, it's like calling someone a racist and then a non-racist. Like, you're talking to a racist and you're, like, not racist, and then you're, like, saying that would be pinning us against each other. Like, I don't think it would be an argument. It would just have to be, like, a discussion. Because, like, the thing with white feminism that I keep saying is that they're ignorant. So it would have to be a discussion. Like, this is why.
But, like, you said, wait, for a non-racist arguing with a non-racist, what would you be arguing about?
I said a non-racist arguing with the racist.
But you guys are not working towards the same thing. That's just opposite ends. White feminism and feminism are both feminists.
The problem, though, is white feminism isn't feminism. That's the issue, like, that you don't get. Because it's like, feminism is supposed to be for all women, like, working towards not even, like, equality, but, like, equity. Like, it's like for all women to get somewhere. But white feminism isn't that. It's like, it's just working for the privileged, which is the whole reason that, like, feminism is a thing. Because, like, women are oppressed, but white feminism doesn't work for all women. It just works for whatever they want.
Okay, so yes, the white feminist is just labeling a way of thinking, but it's just separating feminists against, like, what we're, like, you're just, like, ostracizing them. You're, like, you're isolating them to, like, go ahead and think of whatever you want them to think. Like, you could just, like, leave them alone. Because, like, the reason why I brought this up was because, like, celebrities such as, like, Emma Watson and Lena Dunham.
Wait, can you repeat what you said? I wasn't listening.
Like, celebrities like Emma Watson and Lena Dunham and, like, Ariana Grande, they got, like, so much hate on because they weren't talking about the deeper issues of feminists, but they're not, like, obligated to be speaking out on those terms. They were just putting,
well, that's a different story,
feminism.
Though. They have, like, a platform that they can use to spread, like, issues on it. People weren't upset at them for not speaking about deeper issues. They were upset at them for not using that platform to have a productive conversation. Like, it wasn't that they, like, people are making them obligated to do anything. It's about how the things that they chose to speak out on.
It was first-hand experiences, though. Like,
yeah,
that was, like,
well, no,
that's the only thing that you can speak on, like, because that's the only thing that you've experienced.
Lena Dunham and all her... Well, she's dumb. So. Well, Lena Dunham and all of her experiences, if you like, ignore what she says in her memoir and everything, it's like... First of all, the book that she wrote about her memoir it just shows that she's a hypocrite. Like, all of her experiences, the way that she characterized the people that she experienced misogyny towards, it's, like, besides, like, feminism being for equality for women, it also has to do with, like, men and, like, having us on the level playing field. But the way that she talks about men and, like, their issues, and there is a section of her book, which was the problem, where she said that, where she mentioned the one time I don't know what this is.
It was, like, from a back, like, I think one of our friends, Joel, he was, like, there was, like, a basketball player that just, like, completely ignored her, and then she thought he was, like, experiencing misogyny because he didn't like sexualize her or like didn't even like acknowledge her presence or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm Googling it right now, so give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
It was a passage about sexual abuse. Like,
She experienced?
no, she was a sexual abuser.
Oh.
So, like, I don't know. She said something that was out of pocket. It was about her sexually abusing her little sister and like molesting her. She put it in her memoir, and then like people. It's not that people don't like Lena Dunham because she's a white feminist. She's a bad feminist. Like in her experiences, they read her book and then they were like, "Well, you're a feminist and you're doing amazing things. Like you're the writer for this great show, but at the same time, you're like." Erasing sexual assault for women and like because the way that what happened was she wrote about sexual assault on her little sister and she played it off like it was a little joke and it was like this like romantic whatever, but then people were like, well, that's not what feminism is. You're supposed to advocate for the women. You're not supposed to like silence them and make it seem like a joke. That was her. And then what other people did you mention?
Ariana Grande and Emma Watson.
Well, Emma Watson and Ariana Grande said things that were out of, not that it was like it was white feminist TV. It's like the label itself is to label feminists that are ignorant and haven't read enough and like learned enough about the movement to like say things. Like that's the.
You think Emma Watson didn't know?
I think. Well, yeah.
Because I don't know the situation about Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande. Well, I don't know if she said anything, but I think it was just the way that she was acting. But then it's like my thing with.
I never heard Ariana Grande was a white feminist. I just heard about like how in the donut shop she was like, I hate America. Which I thought was the dumbest like thing to get upset over.
Yeah, that was dumb. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what she did, but I personally don't think that white feminism is like. I don't think that it's a negative thing. I don't think it's pitting anyone against anything. I think it's like
you don't think it's a negative thing?
I think it's like not in the way that you're saying it. Like you think that it's like an insult to feminists or like it's like pinning us against each other and like causing like internal misogyny. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's a label that people use so that they can start like a conversation. Because when you say like, oh, this girl is a white feminist, isn't someone just gonna be like, how? Like, mm-hmm. Why is she a white feminist?
So it's not a bad thing.
Well, I think.
Because it could be used as a bad thing. Well, it's used as an insult.
I think it depends on the context. Like, why? Like, the reason a person is a white feminist is bad. It's because it comes from ignorance. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They haven't read enough. They don't understand other people's struggles. I feel like it's just going into a circle.
Yeah, see? Okay, that's what white feminism and feminists are. The argument just keeps going around in the circle because you guys are going the same direction, but you want to like keep fighting.
Shut up.
I'm keeping that in.
Shut up.
Okay, anyway.
I still don't think that's what it is, though. I think that you're just holding on to. Well, I mean, I guess that's what it is, though.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Stop. Look.
What are y'all doing, bro? Are you on the camera or not?
Yeah.
Shut up.
He's getting so tired because he doesn't know whether to speak or not. Okay. Ready?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it goes in a circle, but it's like, I don't know, that's the problem with all things, isn't it? That's the problem why there's so much bipartisan disagreement in Congress and everything with the Republicans.
But racism and not, like,
I'm talking about
non-racist and racist don't go in a circle because there's clearly someone being wrong here. But it's just white feminism have different struggle than feminists.
Why are you yelling at me right now? You're like saying a foot away from me. You're yelling at me. That's why it goes white feminists. That's why it goes in a circle because people just start yelling at each other.
It goes in a circle because we both agree with each other, but it's just different like levels to it. Like white feminism just makes it even more complicated, and I feel like it just.
Yes.
It just like deters everyone from the main issue.
I don't think you understand though. Like I think that white feminism is like it's not like people made it up to slander anyone. It's like what you made up to describe someone that's ignorant and they just happen to call it white. feminism because white people are ignorant. Don't put that in.
About this in class, like white feminism and like how it just makes it fake deep. Like it, like people are just fake understanding. Like they're not aware of the deeper issues. You know. So, but like I feel like it's in Emma Watson's case, she only spoke out about firsthand experiences. Like she only knew that, and like that was still unfair. Like her issues were still unfair, and it was still valid. Her struggles with like sexism was still valid, but people invalidated that because they said like, no, there's bigger problems out there. Like your struggles are invalid because you're privileged.
When the first like responses came out to her speech or whatever, I felt like when I was watching the tweets happen, I was thinking like people weren't invalidating her experiences or saying that she was wrong. They were saying that they wished that she had taken her experiences and gone deeper with it. Like to say that all women have experienced this, not just women, whatever the hell she said. Like the thing with celebrities is that they have such a large platform, and when they speak out on issues, they're expected, I guess, not obligated, but like they're expected to have ideas past like the shallow part, like the surface level kind of stuff. Like that's why people get upset. But it's like, because like wouldn't you be upset if like our president, for example, he's leading our country, but like he has no idea of what the hell is going on anywhere. Like he has no idea about any
That's
of
why
these
I
issues.
think like,
but like
the argument, you know, like how I told you about like it's either you think celebrities are too dumb to talk about politics, or you think that like celebrities should belong in politics. Like they should be aware of what their voice has and what they're capable of.
I think all people should be educated and not ignorant in this issue is what I'm saying. But like celebrities, it's like more weight on them because they're like there, like they're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But like they're not politicians. Like
you don't have to be a politician to
no, yeah,
understand issues.
I know, yeah. Like they're like they're supposed to be like we're just trying to eradicate ignorance, but like celebrities aren't obligated to be that spokesperson, you know? Because that's not their job.
Well, you keep saying that, but if the problem is that, like, how do I put this in a way? Like, people think that if you're going to speak out on something and you have a platform, right, then you should do your best to research it. Mm-hmm. It's like Kanye West right now and everything that he's saying. Mm-hmm. Like, all of his friends, like John Legend said, like, you have this platform, why don't you use it for something good? Why are you using it for this?
Because they were, okay, Justin Timberlake never spoke out about an issue before. Like, he just remained this celebrity and he just did his job, whatever. Like, I feel like he's not problematic because he doesn't make himself to be problematic. John Legend was telling Kanye West to, like, use his voice for this issue with intelligence because he already spoke out about it. Like, you should use your platform because you already spoke out about it. But I'm not saying, like, I'm saying, like, celebrities don't need to be the person to talk about politics.
I'm saying in later text, John Legend or whoever else was texting Kanye was telling him to read because he's so ignorant to all of his issues. Like, he literally said, I don't read. I don't believe in reading. Like, that's one of his tweets. And
Kanye?
Yes. And one of his friends were like, well, you need to read because that's why you're like, because someone sent him a text about saying something about how Abraham Lincoln and slavery or something, and then they were like, put this out into the world to see. So Kanye did it before fact checking it because he doesn't read. And then someone else texted him and said, well, you should read because this is the truth of it. That's my thing. Like, if you are a celebrity and you have this platform and you have like this voice and you have millions of followers and you choose to say something, then you should say something and be well educated behind it. That's my thing. It's not about like you are obligated to do this. You are obligated to research what the hell you're talking about. You can't just say things.
Yeah, that's for everyone. Like,
well,
everyone
yeah,
shouldn't
exactly.
be like just spouting whatever they're thinking.
Well,
but like,
yeah, but then do you understand what I'm saying though? Like, I'm not saying that Lena Dunham Emma Watson, Ariana Grande, Shailene Woodley, all of those women are not obligated, that they are obligated to say this, but I'm saying that they should have done their research first before they said it, because Lena Dunham is the writer of a show and has this gigantic platform, so she is obligated to do this research, is what I'm saying, so she's not ignorant to it. That's the problem with white feminism. It's not that, it's wrong. It's not that it's invalidating anyone's feelings. It's that it comes from a place of ignorance.
They're just
they're not learning. They're not
educated.
They're just following the mainstream media. They're just following what people on Twitter, on Instagram are saying, and they're not reading into deeper issues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's a problem. And that's why it's good that it's a label, because it's not that it's pitting anyone against each other, but it's that it's bringing to light that, yes, there is this part of feminism that is still feminism, but isn't good because it's not deep enough, and it doesn't help everyone. It just helps white people in first world countries.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. I think, yes, it's bad because it creates, this tension between feminists, but it also starts a conversation. Things that are controversial, like white feminism, and things that Kanye is saying, they're bad. I personally believe that, whatever the hell he's saying right now is wrong, but they're starting a conversation about, having ideas or whatever.
So wouldn't that be the same as how white feminism brings up the topic as well? Kanye West is saying dumb stuff.
Yeah, were you listening? That's what I was saying.
Yes.
That's literally
I feel like, because I was gonna say that we agree on that, we agree on some parts, but I feel like we don't agree on how celebrities should just
stay quiet.
Not stay quiet, but
stay in their home.
They're not. I'm gonna say obligated again, but
it's not their job.
It's not their job to.
They're not politicians.
Yeah,
is what you're saying. But
yeah, they could talk about their firsthand experiences and they could bring up the topic. But if you say something that it's not factual and it's not true, then that should just keep out.
The thing about the feminist movement is that it's a social movement, so there's nothing in it that's gonna be factual besides maybe the wage gap and all of that stuff, and the statistics about death and things. It's literally a movement based on people's experiences, is what I'm saying. So it's not like these celebrities are gonna have facts to give. Then you could just Google it. If they want to say something to bring awareness, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like Kanye and Lena Dunham are on different levels of wrong.
Yeah, but then also it's what you said about them not having they shouldn't say something or whatever. It's because it's not their job, is what you said. It's the Parkland students. That's not their job to
No,
do all this.
I meant it's no. Okay, Kanye was saying things that were obviously wrong. Mm-hmm. Lena Dunham was saying things that were obviously wrong, but I'm speaking on terms of how Emma Watson and Ariana Grande were attacked for reasons beyond them. They were speaking out about issues that they personally faced, and that's what they knew. And then later on, they were educated because they were called out for being a white feminist about the deeper issues that they should be talking about because they have this platform. However, that was just the surface of it. That was just what they could be talking about.
I see what you're saying, I guess, but I don't think you broke it. I think it's fine.
Oh yeah,
no, they're just holes in it.
Yeah.
It's a Rubik's cube. You're supposed to turn, so there has to be joints. Yeah.
Momo, do you have anything to say?
I forgot what you were saying, so I can't remember.
About my theory, bro.
Yeah, I really do.
He's gonna call us a pussy.
He's just gonna call us
facts, bro, not theory. Facts. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like feminism that's focused on white issues isn't inherently bad. And I think it makes sense that a lot of American people, or people that are involved in American culture, are concerned about American, typically white, feminism issues. I feel like that's okay. I feel like to an extreme, if you're just focused on that and you're against everything else, I think that's really problematic.
They're not like
Nobody
openly
really-
like against the other issues. They're just speaking out on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Is what I'm saying. Unless they're doing that, they're
Yeah.
speaking out against all the other issues. Because then it's like exclusion. But this, they're just going a certain path. You can't do everything.
Would you still label them a white feminist if they were just like speaking out on experiences they faced alone? Like they weren't like, because that's what Emma Watson went through.
She was just speaking on issues that she was passionate about.
Yeah,
And she plays a huge role in like American and British culture
yeah,
as like an icon.
yeah,
And so of course she's concerned about issues that are in American culture or British culture.
mhm,
So it's, you can't. As long as she's not speaking against the rest of feminism and she's just focusing on herself, then I mean not just herself, but women where she lives or like where she's concerned about issues, like that's fine.
yeah. I feel like there's no like harm in that. It's just not educating people enough
Yeah,
on
I
the
do think
topic.
inclusive feminism is important. Like they should include all parts of feminism. I
Yeah.
feel like. But if they're just focused on, again, what they're passionate about, then
It's
why
not.
are we coming at them?
Yeah.
Just 'cause,
Yeah, it's not bad to be. Okay, so to reiterate.
I was listening.
No, yeah, to reiterate, I'm just gonna wrap it up. White feminism is a label that we use to use an idea of thinking about feminism itself and how it's its own label because it doesn't speak on the deeper issues and the deeper topics, but I don't believe that it's a bad thing. Like, I don't believe it's doing any harm to anyone. Besides the fact, white feminism, if it were to be like attacking another person's struggles, then that would be a bad thing. However, it's still a struggle that's brought up.
Yes.
And celebrities are not obligated to speak on these issues. But if they were to speak on these issues, they should be fully educated on what the entire movement is about.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's literally
yeah.
Okay, thank you.